hear that. I've heard that before, that eating spicy foods are not only good for you, but help you lose weight. I'm going to clarify that rumor, and I've got the perfect guy to do it for me, Dr. John Hooper, Medical Director for Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
If your mother said so, it's true.
Throw a curveball at you. Okay, but the good thing is you know everything there is to know about keeping the racers safe and healthy and hydrated.
I hope so.
This weekend. How much does the weather play into how many people end up in your medical tent?
Well, the weather is the biggest factor altogether. Fortunately, we've got great weather for this weekend, but as soon as the heat and humidity start to go up, our numbers, the people we see, go up. And not only do we see more, but they're usually much more severely injured, dehydrated, hyperthermic. So we see a lot more go to the hospital, and they're, you know, a lot iller than they
Why is
be.
that?
A lot of the thing is dehydration, and that happens when it gets hotter. And also, if it's hot and humid, you can't lose your heat as well when you're running.
Okay.
You can't lose it to the environment, so you get hotter and hotter and hotter, and that affects all sorts of parts of you, your liver, your kidneys, all sorts of things.
Okay. And what are some of the biggest problems that you see out on the course? What do people most commonly visit the tent for?
So we see a lot of minor stuff, which is the biggest numbers of minor orthopedic stuff, you know, Achilles tendons, you know, patellar problems, all sorts of minor things like that. A lot of chafing, people wearing their new running shoes for the very first time, you know, a lot of black toes. So that's the most common thing. On hot days, obviously, hyperthermia and dehydration are big, and hopefully that won't be a big problem this weekend. We see a lot of people who don't listen to themselves, listen to their body, and they push just a little bit too hard. They're going to set that PB, and despite their body saying slow down, they don't. And then they usually spend a little bit of time with us in the medical tent at the end of the day. And
that competitive spirit comes out, and you just, regardless of whether or not you've done the sufficient amount of training, you want to push yourself as hard as you can, eh?
Absolutely. We hear that story all the time. My training didn't go well, but I thought I could do well today.
So now, we see you in the medical tent year after year. You must have an incredibly busy lifestyle working at the Ottawa Hospital. What keeps you coming back?
It's fun. I used to run, so there's a little bit of giving back there. I work at the Ottawa Hospital. A lot of money from Race Weekend goes to the Ottawa Hospital, so I see the good that it does. A little more of a personal story this year. My wife, unfortunately, has had to spend a lot of time at the Ottawa Hospital, and so it's a great thing for fundraising. So it's nice to help out.
So who are some of the other people that will be in the tent with you?
We have a lot of people. There's literally a couple hundred volunteers. So we have we'll have 4 or 5 other docs there. We'll have about 30 or 40 nurses there. We have physio people. We have massage. We have chiropodists who look after feet. We have a lot of husbands and wives who get dragged into it to be huggers at the end. So when you cross the finish line and you're all sweaty and think you're going to throw up, they come and grab you. It's probably the worst job in the world, but they do a phenomenal job at it. Stretcher bearers, paramedics.
And John, before we go, what's the most important thing to remember to do once you finish, once you cross the finish line?
We see a lot of people who run really hard, that adrenaline surge at the end. And then once they cross the finish line, they stop running because they've had enough. The problem there, though, is if you're a little bit dehydrated and you stop using your leg muscles, your blood doesn't come back to the heart as quickly as it did, so your blood pressure goes down and you usually pass out, fall down.
Okay.
So when you cross that finish line, enjoy the moment, but keep walking. Don't stop dead. Just keep on walking. And as painful as it is, just walk for another minute or two. Or if you can't walk, lie down before Mother Nature makes you lie down.
Makes you lie down,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much for coming and for
My
coming
pleasure.
back year after year. It means so much to know that there are medical professionals on hand just in case, heaven forbid, something does go wrong.
Thank you very much.